we have a special guest for episode 11 of Keeping It Real Estate. Please welcome Nina Galvez. Most of you should know she's on our team, and she is doing amazing things. She has an incredible blog called The Local Wander, which is now, she is locally famous. She was on TV just last week, and I know you hate this stuff, but she's doing amazing things for the community. And she has done a ton of work in Baltimore, in the city, and she's done a ton of business. And she's also, it seems like a lot of her charitable endeavors have been in the city, and it's pretty amazing. And today our topic is the city. So we thought we'd bring Nina on and let her share some of her favorite neighborhoods and some of the groups that she supports. And you know, obviously the Jim Schaecher, well, I don't say obviously, but hopefully you know by now that giving back to the community is one of our pillars, and we take it very seriously. And Nina is doing some awesome things. So without further ado, we thought we'd let Nina talk a little bit about what is some of your favorite communities in the city.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I could talk about Baltimore probably all day, so just let me know when I've said too much. So I have, I think, a unique perspective on Baltimore because I am not a native Marylander. So Baltimore was something that was just, I had no bias towards. I didn't really know anything about it. I had never traveled here before living here. I'm from Virginia, like Southern Virginia, almost North Carolina. So Baltimore was like the big city, and I was very excited to explore it. So trial by error, I had clients just occasionally reach out to me, primarily because of social media and connections that I have that way. I can't really pinpoint what drove me to Baltimore, but I realized that you didn't have to live a particular life there. You didn't have to live in a row home. So there's areas like Hamilton and Lauraville, which is just a little bit north of what I would call like the city, but still within city limits. And you can get, you know, a bungalow that has all of the historic charm that you would want, but you get a big backyard, a quarter-acre lot for $300,000, which is pretty wonderful, I think, in my opinion. And then you see that they have all of these little main streets with coffee shops and donut shops and little restaurants and plant stores that are all kind of cropping up in that area. So exploring Hamilton, Lauraville has been very fun for me recently. I've done a handful of transactions there in the last year, and it's been very fun. Zeke's Coffee is there, which is like my favorite coffee as well. I ship it to all of my aunts and uncles around the country. That's one area that I love. I mean, Hamden, I was proud to sell a purple house with lime green windows.
I think that's one of your crowning achievements. You can only do that in Hamden.
I mean, I was so excited. It had a slide going off the back of the deck, and the people that lived there, I was like, oh, do you have kids? And they're like, no, that was just for us. Like, so like, that's the kind of life that you can live in Hamden. It's weird, it's funky, it's eclectic.
Apparently drugs are legal in Hamden. That's why you put slides in purple houses.
I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, do you have a slide off the back of your house?
I do not.
No.
Used to.
Not yet, anyway.
But no, not anymore. That was actually for the kids, though. It was for the kids. I did try it a few times, but it was mainly for the kids.
Hey,
Dana's pushing his kids out of it. It's my turn.
My turn.
So everything.
Nina, tell me. So what's a neighborhood that's kind of that's off people's radar that you're seeing? I know you're in the city a lot. That's kind of on the come.
There's a lot. So I think a lot of people are drawn to Roland Park. Just historically, the market there has always been pretty lucrative. Values are always a little bit higher in Roland Park, Charles Village. Oddly enough, Pigtown.
You know, it's funny you say that. I drove through there, was it Sunday or Monday? And I was shocked at all the, how all the like cool little bars and restaurants and stuff that are popping up. Yeah.
Right. So the city of Baltimore loves to funnel money into, I don't know how to exactly word it, but basically cleaning up the main drag that runs through all of these neighborhoods. So if you drive down Pigtown, you're going to start seeing murals on buildings. There's a brand new brewery suspended that just opened up there. So it's giving people an excuse to linger, build community, and get to know small businesses, which, as you know, I think is like the heartbeat of a community. So seeing that sort of stuff in Pigtown is great. It's a really walkable part of Baltimore. You're still pretty close to Camden, which I think is kind of cool. So Pigtown, I think, is a place to be watching, as well as, I know I've already talked about Hamilton, Lauraville, but I worked with an investor there about 2 years ago, and he told me, he was like, you got to watch Hamilton, Lauraville. And we bought a house dirt cheap, and he's flipping it, and we'll be selling it for probably double what he bought last year.
Nina,
Wow.
in relation to Pigtown, or in relation to, for the people who don't know, where is it in regards to like the Inner Harbor?
I have no idea. Oh my God, don't ask me hard questions. No, I'm just kidding. Pigtown is, so there's this
We held
whole
it together for
community-
5 minutes. Pretty good.
Right.
Baltimore. Okay. So Pigtown, I would consider, it's in Sowebo, so Southwest Baltimore.
Okay.
Listen to
It's
you.
right by
That's an
Holland's
industry
Market.
term. Yeah.
Sowebo. No, it's right by Holland's Market. I got familiar with it, oddly enough. I had a buyer that was looking there, but the train museum is right there. And we, with my kids, we love traveling into Baltimore because there's the Science Center, the train museum, the aquarium. We have season tickets or passes to all of it. My kids
It's also
love
near
going
M&T
there.
Stadium and Camden Yards.
Yeah,
Correct.
okay. Yeah.
Yep. You make a hard left right after you get
Yep. Hard left
like
right
by
when you get into the
Horseshoe.
city. Yep.
Yep. Exactly right.
So,
Sorry, that was a better way to explain it.
Before, no, it's, well, you see, you talking insider stuff, we got to
No.
get the guys from the burbs, like, oh, they know where the stadium is. So.
Hey, I could be making it all up. You will never know.
Yeah, the people who didn't know what Sowebo were, we needed a little help.
Hey, Sowebo. I was excited when I learned that.
So Nina, I would like
Yeah.
you to tell the world, at least our little Facebook world,
Yes.
about your blog, about how awesome it is and how you came about it. And then I'm going to let you riff for a little bit, because then I would also like for you to talk about some of the charity stuff you're doing and your video.
Ooh, yeah, I would love to talk about. I know exactly what you're talking about as far as Smaltimore Homes, which I
Yes.
can even work backwards with that. So collectively with JSG, my Instagram, and me personally, we did sort of a matching donation. And basically Smaltimore Homes, there is a homeless problem in Baltimore, no doubt. So Smaltimore Homes is an organization that builds micro shelters. They're literally on wheels. They have solar panels. It is to help the homeless have temporary shelter. It is not a long-term solution, but our winters are very, very cold. They're harsh. We're right on the water in Baltimore. There's a lot of wind. And with COVID especially, that population was, in my opinion, somewhat neglected. But then you had these rising stars like my friend Q that I met through another friend in Baltimore, who raises money and builds these tiny homes for temporary shelter for the homeless. So we funded 3 homes for Smaltimore Homes, which impacts, I mean, I can't even quantify how many people that impacts for temporary shelter, but we
Pretty
made
awesome.
somebody's day or their night's sleep that would normally be in the freezing cold snow this winter. They had a roof over their head, which was wonderful. And a true testament to, I think, the people in Baltimore that were so willing to donate money for Smaltimore Homes. And then another organization that I have recently discovered was Art with a Heart, who offers art experiences and even as a tool. So she helps all sorts of populations over at Art with a Heart. Men and women that are re-entering society after being in prison, elderly in nursing homes that have dementia or Alzheimer's. They're using art as sort of a therapy, as well as giving the kids in Baltimore City, where arts are typically the first thing cut when there are budget issues. So she, even during COVID, I mean, I walked in there one day and there were thousands of these little kits that were getting sent out to all of these kids in Baltimore so that they could have an art class at home virtually, which was pretty cool. So I did a video series. So I'm working totally backwards. I did a video
An amazing
series,
video series. This is number 2.
Yeah, it was, thank you. I did it in Annapolis last year and I did it in Baltimore this year. And essentially it's my blog, which is really a creative outlet. I love to write. I obviously love to talk. I love to discover things and find, I don't know, just like the meaning in my day-to-day life. Because as real estate agents, we're always in the car. We're always going to different communities. It was important to me to offer that aspect to my clients, but also to make sense of why I'm in the car all the time. So I got to explore neighborhoods and, learn about what is good in Frederick. Like, how can I help somebody figure out what that neighborhood's like? So my written blog became a video series, and this year we went to Baltimore. So I just wanted to share why Baltimore was a great place to call home, and it is the businesses. So we highlighted Maryland teacher tutors, a dynamite woman, Natalie, that founded this organization that reaches thousands of kids in Baltimore and helps offer supplemental learning in tutoring. And the Eden Co., which is a home renovation company based in Baltimore that really tries to enhance what's already there. They're not flipping houses and selling them all monochromatic, white, gray, cheap flips, in my opinion. They really want to bring out the charming character of Charm City. And then Art with a Heart was a nonprofit that we highlighted. And I was just so moved by Randy Pupkin, who is the founder and executive director, that I wanted to do something about it. I didn't want to have this irresponsible launch party during a pandemic. So we decided to partner with a local boutique, Sue and Lou, and we made these, I think, really cool shirts. And all it says is Baltimorean.
But
so
you designed it and it's awesome. It is a very cool
I
t-shirt.
mean, and it's soft material. It's like great quality. And there's still a limited quantity available. So all of the proceeds are going to Art with a Heart. I haven't been tracking the sales in the last 2 weeks, but I will tell you, we are at least 4 figures in our donation to Art with a Heart for the money that we've raised.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Nina, how would we go about, how would somebody go about procuring one of these great t-shirts and seeing your video blog?
So you can go to my Instagram handle, which is @thelocalwander. And I have a link in my bio, so you can go right to my blog. My most recent blog post is about the t-shirt, and you can just scroll down and buy the t-shirt right there.
She is she's an incredible follow, and she's a great person to work with. She's a great real estate agent, and you know, just a superb human being, and super
Great
creative.
personality, fun
Every
to be
time I
around.
read her stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and a pretty, and a pretty okay mom too, I guess. You got 2 little kids that seem like they're doing okay.
Terrible thing to say.
No, she's
she's
great in every way.
Thank you very much. That means a lot coming from you. Dana, what do you have to say about me? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I just said you had a great personality. You're fun to be around. You're always cracking jokes.
I'm joking.
She lightens up the office a lot. So
there is no other team that if I could pick any team in the state of Maryland, there's nowhere else I would ever be than JSG. I know I've told you both that time and time again, but the grass is not greener anywhere else.
You're making me blush, Nina.
I know, but you both of you just said, you know what, you've got this crazy idea about the local wander. We don't really know what it means, but like, go with it. And I've always been fully supported to just be exactly who I want to be. And I'm better for it. So thank you, JSG.
Well, very amazing.
We thank you for being on the team.
Yeah. So I think there's opportunity, and stop me if you disagree, Nina, but I think there's a lot of opportunity in the city. People left cities in droves as a result of COVID, but I think so the prices, the market is not quite as crazy in the city as it is.
Oh, it's great. I love selling houses in Baltimore right now.
Yeah, but I think that's going to change. So if you, and actually I know you've got a couple of clients who are retiring and moving back into the city. So
yes, I do.
So I think there's some opportunity there. So keep that on your radar, and of course, we'd love to help you there. While we got you on, people hear what Dana and I say all the time about the market, but I know you got boots on the ground. You're really busy. What's your 2-cent 30-second take on the current real estate market in general?
In general, I keep saying it's bananas because I can't think of a better word. There is a substantial difference moving out of Baltimore to what I call just like the counties, the burbs. A lot of things are being sold before they're listed. Sowebo is in.
Oh, okay, sorry. My fault.
I'll break down the
hat.
cool.
The hat doesn't make you cool. That's what I'm figuring out. The hat alone doesn't make you cool.
Okay, sorry. In Baltimore, we're not having an inventory shortage. So I've had 2 instances recently where it was multiple offers on row homes in Fed Hill, which it was kind of bizarre because that has not been my general experience in the last year. The only buyers that have received any sort of closing help in the last year have been my buyers in Baltimore. So that is the only time any of my buyers have gotten any money. Moving further south, I mean, I do a lot of business in Anne Arundel County as well. That's where I live. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You need an agent that is well connected so you can look at off-market properties and entertain the idea of writing sight unseen. Going over is sort of a given. No seller wants full price anymore, and nobody's getting closing help. So mentally preparing my buyers that have told me they want to buy in the fall, it's like, okay, well, it's going to cost you about 3.5% of the purchase price towards closing costs because we can't even entertain asking for it. So trying to prep them up, get their dominoes sort of lined up of what they need to save, what the costs are going to look like. I'm working with buyers almost 6 to 9 months in advance because it just takes a little bit longer right now.
It's something. And one thing that I've been introducing too, the prices are really escalating right now.
They are.
So like people that are like, well, kind of on the fence, that, a 3-month delay on a $400,000 house is probably going to cost you $10,000 or $15,000.
Correct.
So
correct.
So
yeah,
that's something to think about.
Yeah, it's a good market if you're going to be buying and living in the house for like 5 to 10 years. I get a little worried about people that are doing what I call stepping stone houses, where they're paying like a huge inflated rate on their house, which is fine. Your interest rate is low, so your payment is going to be comfortable. So if you're going to be in that house for a while, fine. It's not a big deal to overpay. But if you're going to turn around and try to sell it, you're not going to have much equity potentially in the next 3 to 5 years. So
well, one
be
thing that we
careful with
preach
your
on,
stepping stone. Yeah.
Yes, we preach on this blog all the time that on this video all the time. that,
you are wearing that hat, Jim. You are wearing that hat right now.
I'm doing my
blogger,
thing. Doing my thing. Very ironical. But one of the things
you can't
I think
unsay that word.
No, you can't. Yeah, it's falling apart. We made it. It was a good run.
Hi.
Yeah, we like to say, if you think like home purchasing, investment grade real estate is probably really low for most people on their, like if you ask why are you moving, to make money is really low. So, and I think it's important for us as real estate agents to keep that in perspective. And, I bought my house at the height of the last market in 2005. And, it stinks. It took a long time for the values to come back. But at the same time, we sold houses that, we never, be able to sell at those prices again. And, we have, my son, it's the only place he's ever known. And, we had a great life there and a good run there. So, there's other ways to, you can buy rental properties or flip houses or, put some money in the stock market. There's lots of things you can do, to not have your house stealthily becomes your primary investment. And for most people, it's the most lucrative investment they have over time. But, it's like anything, if you look at it day to day, it can be a little scary. So, but rates continue to be good. Inventory super tight. So, Dana, do you want to close us out with a little reminder about all that fun stuff?
Well, just again, like Nina said, it's so important to have the right agent, an agent that has relationships with other agents around the market. It's super tough out there. I mean, the deal I just closed a couple of weeks ago took me 7 offers to get it under contract. So that's not unusual. So just make sure you guys are calling the right people.
Right.
That's right. Nina, it was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. This was the best morning ever.
Wow. All right.
Right.
Until you said ironical.
How about we say it's the best Tuesday in April of 2021? I'll go with that. I'll take that. March. We're in March. We're not even in April.
It's the hat. It's the hat again. We're not even in April.
It's squeezing my brain.
I just blindly believed you too.
I know, so good.
I think I'm missing is a little feather in the side of that hat.
Also, just a gentle reminder, if you look on my Facebook page, there's an article about where we opened our office in Venice, that it's one of the best small towns in the country to relocate to. So good article, does better job than I could ever do about what's great about the Gulf Coast of Florida. So just a reminder, if you need to buy or sell, we are transacting quite a bit of real estate already down there, and we would love to help any of you go south and get warm. So as usual, the market here, nothing's changed, still red hot, interest rates are still good, and it's super important to have the right real estate agents. And there's 3 good ones on this call. So
if you're thinking about moving, don't hesitate because the prices are moving. The prices are moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction if you're a buyer. right direction if you're a seller. So, okay, everybody, thank you so much. Again, Nina, thank you so much. We'll make sure
Thanks,
that your information is on where people can get it from us, and keep up the good work, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks,
everyone.
team.
Bye-bye.
Bye.